Playmaker. That is exactly what Lane Kiffin has added to the secondary from the transfer portal. And this player could be the difference between making the playoff and actually making a run in the college football playoff.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. I'm your host, Brian Smith, in for Stephen Willis for this special edition. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, $250 in bonus bets are waiting for you if you win your first $5 bet. Just head over to FanDuel.com. This is a fun podcast. I just wanted to add it. Stephen didn't even ask me to do it, but I wanted to because this is why college football is fun. As an Ole Miss Rebel fan, listen up. You should be very excited. You should be very happy because the one need that Stephen Willis himself had told me repeatedly that Ole Miss needed to meet in the portal was safety. They already had Sage Ryan come over from LSU. We'll talk about him in a minute. But they get Wydett Williams from the University of Louisiana-Monroe. He had a combined 99 tackles last season alone. That's right, 99. He had 13 tackles at Auburn. He had 10 tackles at Texas. His defensive grades were elite. Pro Football Focus has Wydett Williams with the following statistics. Defense, 75.5. Run defense, 69.5. Tackling, 82.1. Pass rush, 74.7. Coverage, 78.9. Here are his other statistics. 4.5 tackles for loss, a sack, a hurry, a forced fumble. He blocked a kick, and oh, by the way, 3 interceptions. So statistically, Wydett Williams meets the bill. No doubt. But there are multiple reasons to be very excited about him. And for those of you on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here too. This is a player that can be counted on in big games. Again, the Auburn and Texas games will help you understand that. But even more importantly, this is a young man that makes it happen each and every week. So here is the breakdown on Wydett Williams. If you go through and look at the tackling numbers on Pro Football Focus, he never had a game where he didn't get at least 3 tackles. None. And he had multiple games when you combine tackles and assists that were in double digits. He also was very consistent in coverage, even though he would come up and lay a lick on somebody and often was around the line of scrimmage. Again, coverage grade was very, very good. That is an all-around football player. Adding him to Sage Ryan is impressive. 784 snaps and 12 starts out of 12 games. As I like to say all the time, your best ability is your availability. That's one of the oldest coaching cliches. Scouts use it all the time, like myself. It's true. Wydett Williams is that as well. So why does this really matter, though, for Ole Miss? They brought in some good transfer portal players, some corners, etc., and again, Sage Ryan. Well, here's the difference. The reason Ole Miss didn't make the playoff last year, the reason they couldn't quite get over the top, there's one key stat that's probably overlooked. What do you think the number is for Ole Miss on the number of passing plays they gave up last year of at least 20 yards? Just top of your head. How many do you think they gave up? 44. The rank out of 134 teams in the FBS is 106th. That is pathetic. That should never happen at Ole Miss. Not with the talent that Lane's brought in, not with the money they've spent on that staff. And if Lane was sitting here, I'd say shame on you. He's the one who put those guys out there. He's the one that recruited them. He's the one that hired those coaches. That's not good enough. It's not. Lane would tell you the same. But he is trying to fix the problem. Again, Sage Ryan, I'll give you his stats on all the things that Sage did in just a moment. But you add him and Wydett Williams, that gives you 2 veterans that are going to understand the back end of a defense, how to help set a defense, to make sure that when somebody shifts or comes out in an alignment that is surprising based on their personnel package, they understand it because they've seen just about everything. Sage Ryan played multiple years for the LSU Tigers. There's not much he hasn't seen. if you've played at Texas and you've played at Auburn in one season, you're certainly not going to be afraid of crowd noise at the SEC. Wydett Williams did that last year. And finally, if one's out of the lineup, the other one can be in. You always got a really experienced safety in your lineup. This is huge. Ole Miss needed more help in the secondary, and they've got more competition. They've got other guys too. And these two still have to earn their job in the fall, just like everybody else. But right now, I would say the odds are that one or both of them is on the first game starting list. Why would they not be in the lineup? They're proven. And I imagine that there are a lot of schools right now, just as a little added bonus, that are upset they didn't get Wydett Williams. He had a lot of opportunities to go to a lot of schools, but he chose Ole Miss. I think he wants to be a part of something that changes the game for that team. Again, he could have went to other SEC schools, and he probably could have went to a lot of Big Ten schools too. Ole Miss hit a huge home run here. Now, just for the sake of it, to give you a little better overview of Sage Ryan, I'm going to share my screen once again, and we're going to go with what he has to do with this. Sage Ryan wasn't quite as many snaps, but he also is a guy that was still productive despite LSU. Man, they were bad on defense considering their talent. I just got on Lane a second ago, but Ole Miss didn't have as much talent as LSU, and they stunk. But still, 553 snaps for Sage this past year. He started all but, he started all but 3 games. His coverage grade was 74. The one thing that Sage Ryan needs to work on, according to Pro Football Focus, 51.7 is his run defensive grade. That's a little bit surprising. Sage is a really smart guy, too. Tackling 74.4, 69.9 overall for defense. As far as tackles go, he had a total of 41 according to PFF, 5 stops, sack. He was basically the back end of the defense. He wasn't trying to come downhill as much, but that's another guy, though. You've got 2 experienced safeties that have played at a high level of football. Ole Miss is going to make the playoff. I feel very confident on that now, and I think they're going to be one of the surprises this college football season. I've missed before, maybe I miss again, but Simmons beyond quarterback and on all these different guys that they're bringing in to kind of mix and match with that young defensive line, all that talent. I really like Ole Miss this season. Thank you once again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen each and every day. Truly appreciate you stopping in to get all your news about the Rebels and everything that's going on. I'm certainly enjoying the opportunity to help out Steven and all the things that he's done to grow this podcast. I enjoy coming on when he has me as a guest to talk recruiting and transfer portal anyway, but this is fun while he's out, and I'll be back Monday through Friday for the foreseeable future until Steven gets back. So make sure you like, subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. We will see you again soon on the Locked On Ole Miss podcast.